table and in prime form after hitting 7 past Barnsley, 6 past Sheffield Wednesday, and then 3 at Feyenoord in the Champions League in midweek. Arsenal have rather gone off the boil a bit of late after their excellent start to the season, and they dropped to 3rd place overnight, and they know how crucial this is. A defeat would leave them 7 points behind Manchester United, and that might well be an unbridgeable gap. There are, of course, sub here as well. It's well known that Ian Wright and Peter Schmeichel are not on each other's Christmas card list after a couple of run-ins over the past 2 seasons, and judging by the newspaper quotes, the rival managers Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger have a less than cordial relationship. So it's all boiling up very nicely here for one of the big matches of the season, and let's check on the 2 sides for you. The good news for Arsenal is that their Dutch winger Marc Overmars is back after missing the last 4 games with an ankle injury. The bad news is that Dennis Bergkamp and the French midfield man Emmanuel Petit are both suspended, and there's one surprising change in defence where Steve Bold is dropped and the Frenchman Gilles Grimaldi is recalled. 18-year-old striker Nicolas Anelka is Bergkamp's deputy. There was an injury scare for Manchester United this morning over Andy Cole, who's hit 8 goals in the last 3 games, but he's been passed fit to play against the club who sold him as a youngster. Dennis Irwin is out for perhaps 2 months after the horrendous tackle on him at Feyenoord on Wednesday night, but England's Phil Neville is not a bad replacement, is he? And that is the only change. United with so much strength in depth, and you wonder really whether that is true of Arsenal, because if Andy Cole had been unfit with his thigh injury, Solskjaer would have come in for Manchester United. With Bergkamp away for Arsenal, they have to put in Anelka, who's yet to score for the club. Let's check on the top of the table, which will confirm just how important this game is. Manchester United beginning to draw away. They were 4 points clear, but Blackburn's win has cut that to 1 point. Blackburn, the surprise championship contenders. Arsenal have dropped to 4 points behind Manchester United, and as I was saying earlier, if United win here, as a lot of people expect on form, they'll be 7 clear of Arsenal, who had their first defeat of the season in the league anyway last week at Derby. It wasn't only a defeat, they were hammered 3-0 and made a lot of errors, and I'm sure there'll have been a few stern words and a lot of hard work on the training ground for Arsenal. History favours Manchester United in this fixture, because Arsenal have won only 1 of the 10 meetings in the Premier League between these 2 clubs, and they failed to score, Arsenal, in 7 of those games. Manchester United at the moment, of course, are full of goals, but having said that, Arsenal have let in only 1 this season at home in the Premier League, and Bolton Wanderers were the team who scored that one. Goes without saying, really, this is a sellout. Sold out weeks in advance. Peter Schmeichel, the captain of Manchester United at the moment, the 33-year-old. And Ian Wright, who has never scored in a Premier League game or top-flight game for Arsenal against United. He got a couple for Palace. The only time he's ever scored against Manchester United since he came to Highbury was in the Charity Shield. Will those 2, Wright and Schmeichel, be on their best behaviour? The world is rather watching. Might remember the 2-footed lunge that Wright got away with last year, because Martin Bodnam, the referee then, and again today incidentally, didn't see it. Absolutely cracking atmosphere as Arsenal, in their traditional red and white, get us underway here. Manchester United in a change strip, of course. And Arsenal will not want to repeat the defensive errors that cost them so dearly last week. Grimaldi has come into the side after that defeat. And Steve Bold here is the one who has to make way. See Martin Keown there, just ahead of him. He's getting close to fitness again after all his injury problems. Hasn't played at all yet this season. David Platt trying to get Arsenal moving. Philip Neville cutting it out. Grimondi getting it back to David Seaman, who's now passed Jack Kelsey's record number of appearances for an Arsenal goalkeeper. Andy Cole really beginning to show everybody why Alex Ferguson bought him now. Sheringham slipping over, much to the delight of the Arsenal fans. Of course, they haven't forgotten that he's an ex-Spurs player. He knew this would happen, Sheringham. It's not going to bother him. Top players will tell you that bad players don't get booed, only the good and dangerous ones. Henning Berg winning it in the air. This is Beckham. Cole getting up well for the header, finding Nicky Butt, but it's broken down. Platt, misunderstanding between him and Parler. Just one or two frayed nerves perhaps out there. Bergkamp, early ball offside. Cole. A lot of pressure, of course, on the officials as well. The referee Martin Bodnam, last week he was in the London to Brighton car rally. He might find this Sunday afternoon rather less relaxing. Schmeichel launching it downfield. Adams with the header. Not that good a one because Cole picked it up. Now here's Ryan Giggs. Plenty of pace on the cross. Hooked back in towards Andy Cole. Overmars back in the side, and the Arsenal fans very glad to see him too. It's interesting that Arsenal's dip in form has coincided with his absence. The game perhaps could have come at a better time for Arsenal. They would have loved to have gone into this fixture with Bergkamp available. But he's serving the second match of a 3-match suspension. There's no Titi either. Two key players missing. And Manchester United more or less at full strength. This is Vieira. David Platt, who's rather playing for his place. He's been on the subs bench 13 times this season. Parler. Right ahead of him, and Anelka. Right's pulled away to the far post. Parler carries on with his run. It's a good run. He's still going, Parler. Berg got in with the challenge, one or two hopeful appeals, but only from the fans for a penalty. Sheringham. Now here's Overmars again. He's got so much pace, it might be an examination for Gary Neville, but he's passed quite a few exams already in his young career. He's kind of 22 going on 32 in terms of experience. This is Parler's run, and you can see that was a good challenge by Philip Neville in the end. Berg rather hobbled away after that little clash as well. Seems to be all right now. Sheringham. Scholes. Gary Pallister, who's seen it all, of course, and won so much at Manchester United. Cole not able to control it this time. 2 hat-tricks in the last 3 matches for Andy Cole. Of course, he really couldn't get a look in his Highbury days. He only played twice for Arsenal when he was a teenager, Andy Cole. But I tell you what, with Bergkamp out, if he was still around in the shadows, he might well have got a game today. Henningberg, who's been such a good buy by Alex Ferguson, £5 million well spent. Very solid and underrated performer. Is Sheringham. But quickly in. Now Cole. Scholes. Dixon with the headed clearance, but only as far as Philip Neville. United must be absolutely buzzing confidence-wise at the moment after their recent results. They've been taking teams to the cleaners, quite honestly. Cole, Butt's carried on with his run, and Tony Adams had to be strong there to deny Nicky Butt a scoring opportunity. It's cleverly worked, this. Look at the understanding in the running, and Butt springing from the midfield. Pallister with the header. Now Giggs. Cole. Lee Dixon in quickly, but Manchester United still have it. Sheringham going down and looking for the free kick. Arsenal defenders felt he was rather looking for it, and the referee agreed. Look at the challenges flying in here. There's not too much love lost between these two huge clubs. Going to be a test for the referee as well, this. Neville, Parlour diving into the challenge. There's the red-headed Paul Scholes, is now a fixture in the side now that Cantona has left. Parlour, who's become a fixture in the Arsenal side under Arsene Wenger, tended to be on the fringes of things a lot of the time during the George Graham reign and later under Bruce Rioch. Scholes, beautifully done. One of the things about Highbury is it's one of the narrowest pitches in the Premier League. There's not that much space out there. Here's Overmars looking to work a shooting opportunity. First ever goal for Arsenal, and what a time to score it. Well, many people have wondered about this young man, whether he really had what it takes. But how about this? Overmars' shot is blocked, and the man who is replacing the suspended Dennis Bergkamp does that. Schmeichel beaten on his near post, and this might tell you whether United would have expected him to get there. I think Anelka's placement and power caught him by surprise, and Schmeichel, I think, for a goalkeeper of his high standards, will not be happy with that. What a moment for the 18-year-old Nicolas Anelka. His first goal for the Gunners in his 14th appearance. Well, that has set the Arsenal fans, metaphorically speaking, on fire. And it's exactly what Arsenal needed for their perhaps fragile confidence at the moment. Remember, they hadn't scored in their last 3 matches before today. It's taken them only 9 minutes to break the sequence here. Well, Overmars is a key figure, you feel, in Arsenal's strategies this season. Sheringham, always so thoughtful. Cole with the layoff. Now Giggs. Dixon. Now Ray Parlour. Giggs with Phil Neville on the overlap. Here's Andy Cole. Sheringham. Giggs again. Sheringham can't reach that. Arsenal, particularly defensively, working very, very hard to condense space. This is a big, big game, always. Well, a cracking start to the match, and that's really set everybody talking. Beckham chipped up to Sheringham. Phil Neville. Winterburn reaching it well. It was his free cone goal last year, Nigel Winterburn, that gave Manchester United victory at Old Trafford, and it was at a time when United were going through a pretty dodgy spell. Pallister's given this away, and Elka's in again here with some pace. Here's a chance, and this time he didn't really get hold of it, but that could have been a very, very expensive error by Gary Pallister. Could be 2-0. Giggs. And Vieira, who has to watch his step. He's one booking away from a suspension. Nicky Butt. Cole joining in the play well, feeding Bergkamp. Beckham, I should say. I think Manchester United wouldn't mind having Bergkamp. Well, terrific moment for Anelka. It was rather controversial, his move to Highbury. Paris Saint-Germain felt he was rather stolen from them by Arsene Wenger, but there's the repayment for Wenger. That's what it means to him to see his countrymen scoring. And imagine the feelings of an 18-year-old in getting a goal as big as that in a fixture like this. Gary Neville played forward. Giggs seemed to take a little nod after he nodded that on, but you can see he's complaining about it. I thought he was pushed in the back by Lee Dixon. So Manchester United unbeaten in their last 5 matches in all competitions, during which they've scored 20 goals, an average of 4 a game. Finding themselves up against it here, against a very determined looking Arsenal. Right, I think that was just about his first touch of the ball. Vieira clipping it through right, knocking it back for Platt. Glenn Hoddle, the England manager, watching events here. He's just called up Andy Cole for the England squad for next Saturday's match against Cameroon at Wembley. This is one man who's not available to him. Winterburn battling away well. It's the first time that Anelka has ever been in the starting lineup for a home league match as well today. He's been on the bench and come on a few times and played in the League Cup tie when Arsenal played a virtual reserve side against Birmingham. So it's a full home debut, really. Cole looking to play the dummy, but fooling nobody. Pallister does well. Sheringham. Here's Cole. Looks to feed Sheringham again, and the instinctive effort. He had to dig it out from underneath his feet, Teddy Sheringham. I must say Sheringham's looked an outstanding purchase for Manchester United. He's fitted in very, very well indeed. They've not really missed Cantona at all. And you only have to look at Tottenham's fortunes without Sheringham to realise what a crafty, intelligent and important player he is. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 0 in this big top-of-the-table game at Highbury. Manchester United so far unable really to conjure up too much by way of threat. Arsenal will have been very wary of their goal potential, particularly of late. Just not rhyming for United going forward though at the moment. Arsenal's level of intensity and concentration just looking a notch or two deeper in this opening phase anyway. Scholes. Cole did well to control that under pressure. It was really blasted at him by Scholes. Cole again, muscled out of it by Dixon. And now Anelka, obviously growing in confidence. That goal will have done wonders for him mentally. Now, this is not what Alex Ferguson had in mind. Just celebrated 11 years as the boss at Old Trafford. And really, when you think that he was under pressure, to use the modern euphemism, back around 1990 after 4 years in the job, Manchester United, what a payoff they've had for their loyalty and belief in stability, and some other clubs may well take note of that. They probably won't, but they could. Philip Neville, Giggs to Scholes, Sheringham. It's neat football by United. Can they produce an end finish for it? Giggs' cross is not the best. Referee Martin Bodnam doing a good job in attempting to keep the game flowing amid the muscular challenges. Poor ball by Vieira, easily cut out by Scholes. United, as they showed here last season, can be deadly on the counter. Andy Cole scored last year in the fixture, so did Solskjaer, and a 2-1 win. Cole pulling away well in the space, but it wasn't the best ball by Scholes. Some real tenacity about the Arsenal defence earlier. Now Dixon has taken a knock here. And there'll be a delay while he gets treatment. Cole leaving his foot in, and that could have been pretty dangerous. Well, it was close to being an over-the-top challenge really by Cole. It was certainly studs up. And I think if Martin Bodnam had just seen the replay you'd seen, ooh, look at that. That's what a stud can do, and you can end up with a broken leg. He's lucky in a way that that is kind of round the side and not actually straight into the bone. Otherwise, Dixon may have been in even worse trouble. As it is, I wonder whether he can continue with that injury. They do have Steve Bold, of course, on the bench, experienced cover, and they'd probably move Gudimondi to right back if they had to take Dixon. And Steve Bold, having been left out of the side after last week's defeat at Derby, may well find that he gets an early run out anyway. But Dixon's a tough old soldier. He's been at this club for 10 years, and what value he's given for £350,000. 1-0 to Arsenal, and 20 minutes gone. Manchester United haven't really carved out what you'd call a chance as yet. This time it's Butt and Adams, colleagues in the England squad. Now what can United come up with here? Giggs to in-swing it, and David Seaman, that's a good punch by him. Wasn't an easy ball for him to deal with. Parlour, full of determination, typifying Arsenal's spirit here. Wright pulling away, here he is. Anelka is still wider, Wright goes alone, took a deflection, Schmeichel did well. Now it's Black, now it's Anelka, and now it's in the crowd. Good break by Arsenal here, and that's what Arsenal have been about early on. Strong in the tackle, great run by Parlour, and then Ian Wright takes a deflection. Would that have gone in? Schmeichel could certainly afford to take no chances, and Anelka's final effort was a disappointment in truth. Meanwhile, Lee Dixon has returned to the fray. He's fit to continue. I'm not going to say he's all right. He'll certainly need some more treatment later on for that leg injury. But it did look, and you got a very close view of it, as if the cut was of a superficial nature. And that, I'm afraid, is a bit symbolic of how it's gone for Manchester United so far. He goes Anelka again, who's having a good game. Gary Neville getting a foot in. I wouldn't think Alex Ferguson would be altogether delighted with Manchester United's work so far. But a lot of things breaking down like that in the middle third, which is unlikely. Parlour. Dixon. Meet and drink that to Peter Schmeichel. Before today, Schmeichel had kept 6 out of 9 clean sheets in matches against Arsenal. But he won't be adding to the list. We know that already. Here's the long-striding and leggy Vieira. Grimondi. Dixon. And offside anyway. The better start here by Arsenal. Manchester United rather stuck in second gear. They were involved in what became a rather tempestuous affair against Feyenoord in midweek. They won it very well, but they do look at the moment as if they are maybe still in Holland, mentally anyway. Here's Anelka. Parlour. Anelka again. Oh, it's very well done. Cut out by Pallister. But Anelka has shown in 1 or 2 little cameos here why Arsene Wenger went to such lengths to sign him. Manchester United fans trying to make themselves heard as Vieira storms through the middle. Nicely played by Tony Adams. Game so important, of course, for Arsenal. If they could win this, they would cut the gap between themselves and Manchester United to just 1 point. That would really open things up, but there's a long way still to go. Arsenal, who finished third last year, and Manchester United, who won their fourth championship in the last 5 years. They really are going through a hot streak. Ray Parlour will take the corner. Arsenal dangerous in these situations, looking for the nod on. Adams got there. His first goal of the season. And once again, was there a question mark here about Peter Schmeichel? He really got hold of it. But Schmeichel, I think, was looking to turn this over the bar, made no contact. 2-0 to Arsenal. And the man regarded by many as arguably the best goalkeeper in the world is not having the happiest of afternoons here. Two Frenchmen, 2 goals, and how important in the English title race. Well, this is a turn up for the book, because most people were looking at the form of the two sides going into this game and fully expecting Manchester United to score a couple of goals and maybe walk off with the points, the way Arsenal have been playing lately. But that defeat at Derby last week and the importance of this game seems to have concentrated Arsenal minds wonderfully. And Manchester United will really have to work hard here to get anything at all out of this fixture, the way things are going. Cracking shot from Vieira. Many will say Schmeichel should have got something on it, but he didn't. Beckham. Pallister's come forward, it's too long for him. This is the Vieira shot. You can see the range, 18 yards, right on the edge of the penalty area, curling and off the underside of the bar, if I'm not mistaken. With a curl on it too. It was a terrific effort. Now, can United come back from this? But to Beckham, who's hugging that right-hand touchline. Gary Neville coming forward. Can he get in the cross here? Yes, he can. Sheringham's on the near post. Seaman half got it away, but only half. And now Arsenal have cleared the lines just about. Gary Neville's long throw goes a long way without anybody managing a touch on it. Well, we could be witnessing an important twist in the championship plot here. Giggs, sloppy piece of work by Platten. Cole, who needs no second invitation in his current mood. He really got hold of that well. David Seaman's handling was exemplary. That was going like the proverbial tracer bullet. Philip Neville in towards Giggs, who just gets a toe to it. Well, the French youngsters, Anelka and Vieira, have done the trick so far for Arsenal. Giggs intercepted again. Manchester United's passing by their high standards has been poor. That's Platt. No problems there. So far, United have not exactly been invincible away from home in the Premier League anyway. They've won only 2 of their 6 away matches at Tottenham and Everton. They were beaten at Leeds, their only league defeat of the season up to now, and then 3 draws. That's Anelka. Arsenal are 2 to the good, and Ian Wright, so far, has hardly touched the ball. Sheringham, lovely chest down. Giggs accelerating to the gap, and then looked to be too clever really with the shot. It's neither one thing nor another in the end. Sheringham working very, very hard to try to get United moving. Phil Neville. Scholes. Nippy. Quick feet. And that's nicely done too. Beckham nods it down. Here's Cole. Where were the Arsenal defenders? They really went missing there, and that could be a vital turning point. The ex-Spurs man, Teddy Sheringham, will take great delight in scoring against Arsenal. The fans have given him a hard time. He knew they would, but this is Teddy Sheringham's answer. It's his 7th goal in 14.5 games since his £3 million move to Old Trafford. Good strike rate, and that could be the lifeline that Manchester United were looking for. Here's Anelka. Foul by Scholes, has to be a free kick. Centre 2. How they wish they had Dennis Bergkamp in this situation, and in most others, come to think of it. No booking for Scholes. Martin Bodnam attempting to take a lenient line. Winterburn. Well, he scored an absolute cracker late on to give Arsenal victory at Chelsea this season. But that was not a strike of the same quality. Gary Neville's cross for the goal, and the Arsenal defenders here just leave Sheringham. Mysterious, really. It was quite near to Seaman, but there was far too much pace on it. There just was not enough reaction time for the goalkeeper. 2-1. And now Manchester United, who are so tough to beat, may feel that they can still get plenty out of this. It was, in truth, a goal that Manchester United's performance so far had scarcely merited, but that's just the way of football. Giggs with the header. There's Vieira. Back again by Philip Neville. It's all a bit frenetic, and a little nudge by Butt is penalised. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1. Alistair, a lot of length on his header. Sheringham, now Andy Cole. Sheringham continue with his run. They seem to be outnumbered, the pair of them, and they are. Anelka having a much better game here than he did at Derby last week when he was rather lightweight. The one worry for Arsenal perhaps so far would be the form of Ian Wright, who hasn't looked himself of late. He's gone 3 games without a goal. This will be the 4th, and he just hasn't looked involved as yet. But knowing Wright, he's likely to just explode into the game at any moment. Manchester United have Gary Pallister down. And I just wonder if that's his back that's gone again. It's been a recurring problem. Might well be. Yeah, he's feeling the back, and that could be bad news for United, because there have been long absences in Pallister's recent career caused by exactly that injury, which refuses to go away. Having said that, he's been just about ever present this season. Got Ronnie Johnson available, and they may quickly bring him on. Glenn Hoddle on the right of the picture, and John Gorman, his assistant. Used to be together at Swindon, of course. Currently in charge of England, which is, with all due respects to Swindon, 1 or 2 notches up the ladder. Now, this is a long-term worry, you feel, for Manchester United. Pallister clearly, or pretty clearly anyway, he's not going to take any further part here. You wouldn't think so anyway. No, he isn't. Ronnie Johnson will come on, the excellent Norwegian, who's very versatile. He would be an automatic selection for just about any other club, but United have so much squad strength that he finds it hard to get in. Now, how long will Pallister be out now? And that's a worry too for Manchester United's Champions League campaign. So Ronnie Johnson will take his place in the centre of the defence. They won't need to make any tactical changes. He'll move straight into Pallister's position. Well, let's hope, for Gary Pallister's sake, that that is something that can be dealt with relatively easily. Cole trying to peel away and into the space, but he had the attentions of Grimondi, who was with Monaco last year when they got to the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup in a terrific run. You might remember they knocked out Newcastle and scored 4 at Borussia Mönchengladbach. So a good team, French champions too. So it's a fair buy for Arsenal. Grimondi. Beckham curling it. Gary Neville. A bit unlucky not to feature for England in their glory night in Rome recently. Left out really just for strategic reasons. Oh, 2-2. Terrific strike from Sheringham. 2 for him, and Manchester United, who seemed to be on their way out here, are suddenly level. He's enjoying this, Sheringham. Little flick from Giggs, and just an instinctive turn and shot from Sheringham. He just sensed there might be something on if he took it quickly, and he was right. This is quite a comeback by Manchester United. The bounce was very, very awkward for David Seaman, and it helped Sheringham. Bounced right in front of the keeper, up over the despairing hand. And Sheringham has scored 2 goals. He got 2 against Sheffield Wednesday in the last league match. He's got 2 today, flying at the moment. Well, what odds would you have got on 4 goals in the first half of a tight and tense top of the table game? There may be more to follow. Cole challenging, having his shirt pulled, and then going down rather theatrically. Martin Bunman does not want to know, the referee. Vieira. Now right. Parler, checked by Philip Neville. And Philip Neville is going to get booked for that. It's the first yellow card. And he certainly feels that Ray Parler made a bit of a meal of this. Well, there have been worse challenges in the game than that, to be honest with you. Now Dixon, long towards that far post. Gary Neville couldn't afford to take a risk. There might have been somebody behind him who would have nodded it back. And Arsenal nose back in front again. Always dangerous from corners, of course. Parler goes a long way. And nobody could just give it a nudge over the line. Manchester United's defence not looking too organised here, and a bit of holding there on the right by Gary Neville. Look at that. Well, the ball was a long way away, but I tell you something, you've seen penalties given for less. Two minutes to half-time. Premier League fixtures this weekend absolutely overflowing with goals. 5-0 Sheffield Wednesday yesterday. There was a 4-3 win for Leeds when they were 3-0 down. 3-2 Blackburn over Everton. 4-0 Liverpool Spurs, and already 2-2 here. 4-1 for Southampton as well, wasn't there? Forgive me if I've missed any out. Beckham feeding it wide. Sheringham, who's probably dreaming now of a Highbury hat-trick. Well, it's a bit of a cliche, but it's certainly been given truth here. You cannot write off Manchester United. They looked off form, they weren't playing well, they were 2-0 down. Suddenly it's 2-2. Right. Neither defence looking exactly watertight. And Wright going in pretty late on Henning Berg there. But he doesn't get booked. David Ellery chatting away to Alex Ferguson. David Ellery is the fourth official today. Alex Ferguson involved in a big touchline confrontation with the Feyenoord coach the other night, perhaps with some justification on that occasion. I think Ellery just trying to calm things down. Such different characters, of course, Arsene Wenger and Ferguson. Ferguson quite volcanic, and Wenger very studied, the economist. This is Overmars. He's rather faded from the game after a great start, Mark Overmars. Could be a bit of rust for him after being out for 4 matches. Now he'll be feeling better, Schmeichel, because arguably he might have been able to stop both of the Arsenal goals. Flicked on by Sheringham. Cole, here's Scholes, goes down. United want a penalty, nothing doing. Platt's long clearance, too long for Anelka. Alex Ferguson is out of that glass cabin again on the side. Now, was this a penalty? Winterburn's challenge. You be the judge. He's made his decision. Well, it's high-octane stuff, this. Terrific afternoon for football. The lights beaming down. It gets dark early, of course, now. Pitch in terrific condition. Now Butters pulled up. Parler did very, very well indeed. Pulling it back, and behind by Scholes for the corner. Final seconds before the break. Adams loping up again. Traditionally, Arsenal look for the flick on at the near post. It's been a ploy which has worked wonders for them so many times historically. Winterburn's got some problem with his left eye by the look of things. Now, has somebody thrown something from that Manchester United section of fans close by? One hopes not. There's always some idiot who wants to ruin a perfectly good game. Winterburn is happily okay. Oh, he rather flapped at that, Schmeichel. He's having one of those days, Peter Schmeichel. Great goalkeeper, of course, but he had one for Denmark in a World Cup qualifier early on in the season. And unfortunately for United, it's rather like that here as well. Right-handed in the end. So the goalkeeper's come and he's really nowhere near getting it. Now, has he been hit by something as well? Not from the crowd, I hope. Well, Martin Bodman is concerned about this, and I just hope that missiles are not being thrown at the players, because things totally out of control. And this is such a combustible fixture. It gets such a high-profile build-up every year. There's a lot of accent on the rivalry and feuds between various players, and of course the fans get involved in the plot as well, and there are always some people who just cannot control themselves in this situation. Now, it could well be that Schmeichel has taken this knock in the course of play, but it may well be that something has been thrown from the crowd. We'll try to check on that. There, yeah, he went back in the net, and it's pretty obvious something was thrown from the crowd. Well, this is a very serious problem, not only for this match, but for English football generally, at a time when we're trying to get the World Cup for 2006 to be staged in England. And there's half-time. It's a good time for the whistle to be blown. In his 10th season at Highbury, he's been part of George Graham's silverware winning side. Seen Bruce Rioch come and go, and he's been a stalwart too for Arsene Wenger. One of the impressive things about Wenger when he's arrived at Highbury is he hasn't tinkered too much. He's realised the potential of the club, and he's just added his own little modifications here and there. Generally been a more exciting side to watch, I think it's fair to say, under Wenger. Maybe not quite as solid as under George Graham defensively. 2-2, an exciting first half. Maybe not all classic football, but lots of incident. And of course the stakes absolutely huge. Just to remind you, Manchester United top of the table everybody's favourites to win their 5th championship in 6 years. Arsenal starting in 3rd place. Here's Giggs. Perhaps the slightly worrying thing from the Arsenal perspective is that Manchester United pulled themselves back level without really playing at their best. Here's Anelka. United defenders working as a posse. Cole. And a arm lock really with Gilles Grimaldi. It was something and nothing, and treated as such by the referee. He's having a pretty good game here, Martin Bottenham. Doesn't have to travel so far these days. He used to have a guest house down at Loo in Cornwall. He's now based in West Sussex, which is, by comparison, just down the road. Wright laying it back for Anelka, and then Platt to Overmars. Platt again. Not getting an awful lot of first-team football, David Platt. Until recently, all his appearances were little cameos from the bench. He's come up with a couple of goals, mind you. But his career definitely going through a lull in comparison to those days when he was captain of England and such a key man. Platt getting the foot in there. Now Overmars off on one of his runs. Right ahead of him. Overmars continues with his run down the centre. Winterburn deep to the far post. Giggs was back helping out. And that was because Dixon had come forward. Giggs having to track back. One of the things perhaps overlooked about Manchester United is, for all their flair, they do work very, very hard too. Now Dixon's cross, nobody there, and a neat little cushioned back header from Gary Neville. Scholes, who's looked to the manner born when he's come on and played for England. And he's pulled over by David Platt. Platt, by the way, was doubtful for this match yesterday with a groin injury, passed a fitness test, and he's been okay. Cole, who's been quiet so far. Sheringham, who's taken the eye for Manchester United when they've come forward. Now here's Overmars. Wright trying to explode into that gap. Just too much skid on it, really, from Overmars. Now Cole. Grimaldi has done a very solid job on him. Stayed very close and has been brought in specifically, clearly, for that job, the Frenchman. Maybe it's a compliment to Cole in his present form that Arsene Wenger has chosen to man-mark him. Gary Neville, this is aimed towards Cole, not accurate enough, back by Scholes though. Well in by Lee Dixon. Well, he's really producing his Newcastle form now for Manchester United, Andy Cole. I think it was about 68 goals in 84 games at Newcastle. It is a terrific strike rate, phenomenally. Nobody could possibly hope to continue like that. He's got plenty for Manchester United despite his detractors, though. Here's Anelka. Butt's long ball is aimed towards Cole. Again, the service for him, not what he was looking for. David Seaman beaten twice by his England mate Teddy Sheringham. starting to push the ball around with some more confidence. Philip Neville on towards Nicky Butt. Just the one goal for him on the opening day. That was at Tottenham, back in North London. Maybe he likes this part of the world. He fancied his chances here, but never got hold of it at all. Won by Ronnie Johnson, and then Sheringham's little layoff. One of his rare bad touches so far. Winterburn, long for Dixon, who controls it well under pressure from Ryan Giggs. Well, if looks could kill. Well, there was no malice intended, but it was certainly a free kick, so it's hard to see really what Giggs is complaining about. Now Winterburn will be able to in-swing this. Some danger, and Schmeichel just getting a touch to it this time, with Wright lurking around, waiting to pick up the pieces behind him. It was important he made some kind of contact. Parlour this time, and well handled by a rather more confident-looking Schmeichel. I wonder if he's had a pep talk from his manager at half-time. Peter Schmeichel, he's his own worst critic, usually. And when he does get into bad trots of form, he tends to take it out on the drums back at home, much to the consternation of the neighbours, I'm sure. Here's Beckham. Now Sheringham was having a terrific game. Cole had pulled away intelligently, but was offside. Which of these two massive clubs will be able to nose ahead here, if either of them? Ronnie Johnson with the header. This is Scholes, wide for Beckham. Now Gary Neville. Sheringham, as ever, willing to come in deep and join in the play and then pop up unexpectedly in the opposition box too. Here's Giggs. That was asking too much of Sheringham. What can Arsenal do this time? Nothing, because Scholes came charging in with the challenge, and he gets a yellow card. Second for Manchester United, and that means that Paul Scholes will face a suspension. He was on 4 bookings, that's 5, and it's 5 and out at the moment under the rules, so ban coming up for him. And I'm sure that Alex Ferguson's mind is thinking, hang on, I've lost Gary Pallister out for a while, now I'm going to miss Scholes too. They'll need their squad strength, Manchester United. Dixon took a deflection. One in the air well by Henning Berg. Winterburn thinking of the shot, couldn't get there. And Overmars couldn't nick it away. Beckham surrenders possession. Platt. Now Overmars. So quick. Crowded. Now watched all the way. Now Ray Parlour from a long way, really got hold of it. And Schmeichel found it too hot to handle, but there was nobody there to take advantage. There's a real fizz about this strike from Ray Parlour. Sheringham's header on. Cole was thinking about the bicycle kick as that was in the air. Neither side really inspiring maximum confidence defensively. This time it's Beckham. Ronnie Johnson got a little touch on it, not the one he was looking for. Very good player and unlucky not to be in the starting lineup. Ronnie Johnson, he's had his injury problems this season, but he'll get a run in the side now, I'm sure, with Pallister out. Philip Neville wide for Ryan Giggs. There's such familiar names, but most of them are only about 22, 23. These United youngsters, they seem to have been around forever. Makes you wonder how much silverware they're going to have by the end of their careers. I think they'll need to open bank vaults, most of them. On by Parler. Platt getting the foot in, but and then Cole. Neat possession football by Manchester United. Trying to lure Arsenal into errors. Philip Neville this time, but Arsenal condensing the space and winning the ball back, to use the coach's jargon. In the wider picture, with Manchester United 4 points clear of Arsenal, a draw, particularly with them as the away team, would be a much better result for Alex Ferguson's team. Though Arsenal may feel it would be no catastrophe, as they will have prevented at least United nipping 7 clear of them. Here's Giggs. Interesting looking ball, but it was too far for Cole and not far enough for Sheringham. A lot of people, of course, have pondered whether Manchester United, with their focus very much the Champions League this season, whether they'll really have their attention fully on retaining their championship. But it hasn't seemed to stop them so far, has it? Usually, or in the last couple of seasons, at this time of year, they've been 8 points off the pace and still won the title. This time they're top in November, with a break in the Champions League looming from mid-December to March, of course. 2-2 here. Sheringham off towards Butt. Sheringham again, and again he elects to take it early, just as he did for the second goal. And I think the look there is, well, one or two inquiring looks from his teammates was, well, it worked before. Fantastic sight, Highbury. Great ground since it's been reconstructed. And of course, jam-packed full. Winterburn thought about the shot. Instead, it's Overmars. Things not just working out for him on his return to the side, Mark Overmars. Now here's Platt. Neville wins it in the air. Giggs is around to help him. Didn't go far though, did it? Now Anelka. Dixon wants more movement. It's provided by Parler. And he got it back to, despite the attentions of Johnson, who felt the ball had gone out of play. But the referee's assistant on that far side did not agree. Schmeichel will have to hurry, and does. Grimondi's header. Dixon dispossessed by Giggs. More involved, Giggs, in this second period. That's a good ball to Cole. Beckham takes over. Good movement from Manchester United. Beckham assesses the options. Trying to pick out Cole. Flag was up. When that was played, it certainly was not offside, was it? If he gave it against Sheringham, I'd say he was at least 2 yards onside when the ball was played. You see so many of those, but it's so difficult for the officials to get those right at the moment the ball is played. Not quite sure what the answer is to those either. (2-2) and very tense. Probably the biggest game played in the Premier League so far this season. Can either side snatch all 3 points? It's Winterburn playing it long, and Schmeichel looking far more like his old self in the second half. Alco wins it well. Well done, Henning Berg. Ian Wright just cannot get into this game at all. He has been totally anonymous. I don't know whether he and Schmeichel have maybe been mentally disturbed a little by all the pre-match publicity about their supposed feud. But they've both had odd days, really, by their own high standards. This is Philip Neville in towards Nicky Butt. Thinks of the shot, and it was harmless in the end. And Sheringham wants to know why Butt didn't pick him out. He was in space on the far side of the penalty area. Never a moment's concern for David Seaman. Sanalka's header, Wright trying to break in behind Berg, who was alive to the dangers. Both teams have tightened up a good deal from earlier on. Parler. Berg had read that one too. Now here's Giggs. Good tracking back by Anelka, winning the ball back for his side. Right, deep towards Overmars. Well, after all the incident in the first half, with those 4 goals, the second half almost had to be quieter, you felt, and it has been so far. But there may be more drama still to come here, you sense. Dixon rather hopefully forward. Wright made something of nothing. Here's Anelka. Growing in confidence, the youngster. And then Parler. Giggs taking up some more central positions, as he's wont to do. Looking for the shot. He scored some great goals of late. Remember the one against Juventus particularly, and a very good one too against Barnsley. Wright gives it away. Well played by Grimandi. It's been a much improved performance by Arsenal in their form of late. Anelka again. Now Overmars. Danger here. Can he work an angle for the shot? Not yet. Now it's Dixon. A good cross. Overmars. Taking on Gary Neville, who recovered well. Well, Arsenal need a bit more from their ace goal scorer. He attacks it, it just slides off his head. He hardly made contact at all, Ian Wright. Up goes Sheringham. Great leap. Cole. Away by Dixon. Now it's Ray Parlour. Dixon knocking it forward. Lee Dixon, who grew up a Manchester City fan, so he'll have more reasons than most to want to beat United here. Remember, Arsenal have only ever beaten Manchester United once in 10 Premier League meetings. And that was a couple of years ago, almost a couple of years ago this week, when Dennis Bergkamp was the scorer in a 1-0 win. Just might be here that Manchester United will adopt something of their Champions League mentality, playing away from home. And it may well be that Alex Ferguson, ever the pragmatist, will be thinking that a point is no bad result, particularly when his side were 2-0 down early on. Henningberg. Just content to knock the ball around at the back, rather like old Liverpool sides used to do. Kill off a bit of time away from home. Keep the crowd quiet, defuse things. And maybe just sucker Arsenal forward and look to hit them with a quick counter. Berg. Cole. That getting a foot in well. And Anelka, who's really working his socks off for Arsenal. Overmars now. Nicky Butt so good at getting the tackles in. Beckham's ball forward. Tony Adams is there. And he needs some help here from his old central defensive chump, Steve Bold. Those two seem to have been playing in London almost as long as the mousetrap. Gary Neville. Almost like a chess match now. Narco chesting it down. Was he fouled? Yes, he was. But United have entered a phase where I think they're trying to just draw Arsenal onto them and then look to hit them with counters, and Arsenal are not buying that. Seem to be alive to what's going on. It's fascinating. Grimondi. Steve Bold heads it down. Hacked away by Scholes. Now Cole. He's going to go alone here, Cole. He's going to run at them. And he tried to finish too, and Tony Adams was in the way. Just for a moment there, you wondered whether Andy Cole had taken the Arsenal defenders by surprise. Platt having to stretch for it. Got a lucky bounce, Arsenal. Parlour. Anelka. Footwork from him. And trying the shot too, which may have been going wide, but Peter Schmeichel wasn't to know that. He's had a good game and looked much more the part here, and that's good news for Arsene Wenger, because they do need a bit of strike cover since the sale of John Hartson, of course, who's doing so well with West Ham United. I can tell you that he scored again this afternoon, and the final result from Stamford Bridge was Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. Rio Ferdinand own goal and Zola the Chelsea scorers, so you're right up to date, and 2-2 here. Under 20 minutes to go. And the feeling grows that it will take one moment of magic or somebody's horrendous error to maybe hand 3 points. And that's a booking for David Platt. And here's why. Tugging the shirt at Scholes. Unnecessary really, but yellow it is. The first caution for Arsenal. We've got rather too many this season. Giggs is coming off for Manchester United. And we're going to see the very talented Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who scored in his fixture last season when Manchester United won 2-1. Not a bad player to have coming off the bench. He really is class. That's Dixon forward for Wright. Now Platt. Anelka. Good looking ball. Won by Berg, but here's Winterburn. It wouldn't quite drop for him in the way he was looking. Overmars. Wright trying to turn. No foul. Now it's Parler. Cole challenging back this time. It was rather a striker's challenge. That a bit clumsy from Andy Cole. Who'd be a referee, eh? Winterburn. Sheringham was back defending. Now it's Solskjaer. His first touch, not a good one though. And Parler's cross deep towards Tony Adams. The type of player who is likely to steal forward and settle a game like this. He's done it before. He's often come up with crucial goals for Arsenal down the years. Big Tony Adams. Now this is Winterburn. Adams was up there on the near post. Same routine again, perhaps. Winterburn looking for the near post header. And nowhere near reaching Tony Adams with that one. Adams is stranded upfield for the moment, so Arsenal can't afford to lose possession. Parler, long ball towards Wright. They've got him behind Johnson for a moment there. And I think he handled the ball as it came through. Yes, he did. And he gets a yellow card, Ian Wright, a totally unnecessary one, it has to be said. 2 bookings each. But dare I suggest it, Martin Bodnam, the referee, has had a pretty good game here. He's kept it flowing. It's not been easy for him either. Solskjaer huffing it forward to Cole. Solskjaer again. He'll be looking to make a statement to Alex Ferguson that he should have been in the starting lineup. Only back recently, of course, from injury, Solskjaer. And scored 2 against Sheffield Wednesday in the last league match. Beckham, in swinging corner. Adams with the header. Scholes wide. Back in again by Beckham. This is Henning Berg. Towards Sheringham. Adams is there again. They won't leave him free another time, surely. Bold. Needed 2 attempts, but it worked in the end. Now Winterburn. Not what Ian Wright was looking for. Not what Winterburn was looking for either. Winterburn, who'll be looking to make amends after a real howler at Derby last week that presented a goal to Paolo Wanchope. Gary Neville, and it was off Neville last, so it's Arsenal's ball. More encouraging performance this, though, from Arsenal, who seem to have lost their way of late. Remember, they were top for a month until mid-October. Hadn't scored for 3 goals before today. They've had 2, and they're looking for a third to take all 3 points. This is Parla really attacking Ronnie Johnson, and a free kick here in a very dangerous position, central, and about 20 yards out. Well, he certainly didn't play the ball, Johnson. Now then, this is a real opportunity. And once again, the thought occurs how they'd love Bergkamp out there in this position. Wright is there. It may be a case of tapping it sideways for David Platt. Which will it be? It's right, and it's against the wall. But only as far here as Steve Bold. Arsenal pressure, Glimondi. Away by Berg this time. Now Overmars. Platt again. Arsenal believing here that they can nick an important victory. Here's Ian Wright. Good challenge by Ronnie Johnson. Here's United on the counter. Terrific challenge by Adams. Didn't give Cole a look-in. Dixon this time. And Steve Bold, caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, thought of the header, and then he thought of the shot, and in the end managed neither. Right, half chance, and just over the bar. His first effort on goal, very, very late in the game, but wouldn't it be just like Ian Wright to nick all 3 points for Arsenal? Only needed 1 touch, took it very quickly. Hasn't scored since October the 4th. And of course, just to remind you, he's never scored against Manchester United for Arsenal in the top flight in a league game. Is he conscious of that? Yes, he says. Now Anelka. Poor effort, but a promising game from Anelka. And Anelka will be aware that both times he's started for Arsenal, which have been in away games, Arsenal have lost. Overmars, who of course may be feeling the effects of a hard game, having been out for a month or so. Is he coming off or not? Or have they changed their minds? It's Anelka who's going to come off, having scored his first Arsenal goal today, and Christopher Ray will be introduced, £300,000 signing from Monaco. Didn't feature in their first team though last year. Ray is in fact a cousin of the former European Footballer of the Year, George Weah. Only 22. So far, 2 losing appearances as a sub. As Butt places it to Cole. Adams getting in the important challenge as Cole was preparing to pull back the trigger. Philip Neville. And it all goes wrong between him and Nicky Butt. Phil Neville will get a run in the side as well now, with Dennis Irwin out for maybe 2 months. After that extremely bad challenge in the final match the other night. Ray. Gave it straight to Johnson. Very difficult for a player like Christopher Wray to come out here and adapt to the pace of a big match like this and make an important contribution. And that's what he's being asked to do. Steve Bold, one for right to chase. Parler completed the clearance. Well, he made amends there. If he was left out nearly all season long by Arsene Wenger. Once again, as he did so often for England, he's popped up with a vital goal. Terrific header, no stopping that. 3-2 to Arsenal. Great leap, and he got exactly the right kind of power and direction onto the header. And now Manchester United, having thought that they were cosily working their way to a point, have to chase it. The goal arriving with only 7 minutes left. His third goal of the season, David Platt. And it's only his second start, this, in the Premier League, in the whole campaign. And at this very moment, he's thinking that he did the right thing in turning down that lucrative move to Middlesbrough, where he would have been alongside Paul Merson, of course. This is what he stayed around for, big games and huge moments like that. Here's Christopher Wray. Fresh pair of legs to go alongside Ian Wright. And are United on their way to only their second league defeat of the campaign, only beaten at Leeds so far. Winterburn storming forward like he's an 18-year-old. He is in fact 33. Beautiful play by Parler. Arsenal are buzzing at the moment. The confidence coursing through their veins again after the dodgy run of late. This has been a terrific performance by them with a depleted side. Overmars, can he cap it all? Seemed to take a slight deflection on the way through, did it? Overmars thought so. So did I, actually. Overmars cutting in, looking dangerous, and I think that did just deflect. Off Ronnie Johnson. Only 5 minutes remaining. Grimondi's in trouble. It is a corner. Winterburn pretending he was unsure what the decision was, fully aware, of course, that a few seconds will have been eaten up doing that. Arsenal very happy with the ball down this end. If they get another one, it's over. They won't like that. Well, Manchester United have had a glorious time of late. It's been raining goals for them, but Schmeichel's been beaten 3 times here. No other side has done that this season. It's put 3 past Manchester United. Only Chelsea, Juventus, Ipswich and Derby have scored 2 against them. Here's Cole. Was his goal the match winner? Looks like it, but don't bet on it. Gary Neville. Looking for a bit more movement ahead of him, and he's getting. Solskjaer! Could have been, but it wasn't. Here's Wright. He's kept it in too. Terrific run by Wright. And Ray, and it's wide. Well, he had a fantastic opportunity there, Christopher Ray, to score his first ever Arsenal goal in the Premier League. Brilliant piece of play by Wright, this. Johnson rather went to sleep, and he put it wide. And Arsenal still have a few nervous moments because of that. They could have been relaxing and wallowing in a 4-2 lead now. Here's Lee Dixon. They keep on buying defenders, but he keeps on retaining his place, Dixon. This is Parler this time. And here's Christopher Ray again. Wright didn't look too impressed with that. Beckham. There are 2 minutes left. Arsenal seem poised to go back into second place, and what's more, they'd be only a point behind Manchester United, and it would all look very open again, just at a point in the season where we thought, Manchester United are going to pull away, they might win this championship pretty easily. But that's the beauty of the game, isn't it? The ability to just provide us with an unexpected script from time to time. Scholes feeding this forward towards Cole. Now Solskjaer and Butt working away to try and get it back for United, but here comes Overmars for Arsenal. We're finishing very strongly here. Christopher Ray again. Well, he must be absolutely delighted. Going out here without Bergkamp, without Petit. He might have even regarded a draw as a fair result, bearing in mind the form that Manchester United brought to this match. But Arsenal are 3-2 to the good. Grimondi wins it. Fair challenge, but Beckham's got it now for Manchester United. Time running out for the leaders. Philip Neville. Away by Platt. And then by Dixon. But at this stage, it's wave after wave of blue pressure. And somebody had strayed into an offside position, and it was Teddy Sheringham. And that's taken the heat off. Well, it's been a weekend of dramatic matches in the Premier League, and this one has continued with the pattern. Every game in the top flight this weekend has had at least 2 goals, and most matches a heck of a lot more. Manchester United unbeaten in the Premier League since the 27th of September. The Arsenal fans now are howling their reminders to Martin Bodnam to blow the final whistle. And Parler will try to take that ball into the corner. The old hands and the old heads in the Arsenal lineup. just looking to retain possession. They've done that, and Manchester United are beaten, and Arsenal cut the gap between the two big clubs to just 1 point. Fighting performance from a depleted Arsenal, who in the end probably deserved the spoils.